How big a moment is this for Canadian rugby, the final of the World Cup tomorrow?
Well, it's not just Canadian rugby. I mean, it's huge for rugby, but Heather, you know this, you've covered many Olympics. It is rare for a Canadian team, be they male or female, to play for a world championship that isn't on the ice. We dominate on the ice, of course, but other than our women's soccer team that won a gold medal a few years ago, rarely does a Canadian team in any sport play for a global championship, and one as big as this. So this is a huge stage, a huge moment, and credit to the 32 athletes and the staff that are there. They have done the work to earn a place here. This isn't luck. They've earned the place here.
To the extent, Tim, I was loving reading and following some of the coverage over in the UK in advance, and the BBC headline, BBC Sport, what makes Canada so good? And will they cause World Cup upset? That's what the BBC is mulling over this morning. What do you think on that? We can answer that. What makes the Canadian women so good?
Well, we're not going over to be a tackle bag for Britain. We can win. I think the team expects to win. This isn't just luck or fate. This is hard work. They knocked off New Zealand. You played that highlight a moment ago. New Zealand hadn't lost in the World Cup playoffs since the 1990s. They were the defending champion. To answer your question, what makes Canada so good? They play the game faster than any of the other teams in the tournament. So for all your viewers who we know are going to cross over on Saturday and watch it with the speed they play. They play very effective game, very few errors. And you know the word scrums because we always talk about them in politics. Canada, scrum is a very important part of rugby. Canada, Heather, has done something I don't think any other team has done in this tournament. It's won 100% of their scrums. So by winning those and the other set pieces, as they're called in rugby, at higher rates, they put themselves in a position to possibly defeat England, who are a very, very good team.
We had a piece up on. They play those things like an F1 pit stop, is how it was described. That's how fast it is for the Canadian women when they get going. So that might be one of their keys to victory if they're able to upset. It still would be considered an upset, England and all of that. I'm wondering, the fans have discovered Canada. Celebs have discovered Canada, Tim. We're going to show some social media posts, both from Shania Twain, a little bit of a boost for the women. We're going to show that as we talk to you. And Russell Crowe, I was struck too. He's loving Canadian women and their style of play. Kind of nice to get that acknowledgement. And one of the things that people are really liking is how the team is so good, even though it's had to overcome some serious challenges away from the field of play. Fundraising, number one. Not all of the women are professionals. So there's been a huge crowdfunding effort in all of this. How does that figure into things?
Well, I think it's just helped build the momentum for the team and the belief in the team that Canadians would come on board. So the crowdfunding you're talking about is called Mission Win World Cup 2025. The goal was $1 million. They're just a little short right now, but money came from all over the country. The Canadian team had about a $2.4 million budget on top of that. So the extra million allowed them to play preparation games and have preparation camps, the things England get. And just so you understand the discrepancy, England is funded to the tens of millions. If the English win on Saturday, which of course we hope they don't, they're going to get about $30,000 per player for winning. Canada for the whole tournament might get $12,000. And look, Canadians are doing their best to fund the sport, but winning on Saturday and even getting there will be a huge boost in the arm for funding and the ability to fund Canadian sports.
It's interesting, all of, as you said, the English women, the Red Roses, all fully professional. The Canadian women, the Maple Leafs, 11 of them play club rugby in England, so they'll know their opponents to a certain degree. Is that helpful for tomorrow?
Oh, most certainly. They go up against each other on a regular basis, which also means, though, the English will have respect for teams, the Canadian team. They won't view them as a tackle bag, as I said earlier. But knowing your opponent matters. And England are not going to want to lose at home. And for that very same motivation, Canada are going to want to win at Twickenham. Twickenham, Heather, is known as the cathedral of rugby. It's where world championships have been played for years, and Canada is going to want to take that World Cup trophy and bring it home right out of the English hands on their own soil. Almost our version of the Battle of Hastings, if you will.
I can't even believe you're not there, frankly. They're going to be 82. Oh. Are you going after this interview?
Oh, Heather, well, here's the double sports commitment. If you hear other noise in this house, it's because my son is upstairs playing hockey, because we have a hockey tournament this weekend, and I'm coaching him in that. Otherwise, I would be there. So the noise is hockey.
82,000 people in the stands for that. That would be an incredible moment if the women are able to win. So before I let you go, I love your passion for rugby. It equals your passion for politics. And if I have Tim Powers in a chair, I have to put a political question forward. So I want to show you this video that we just got this morning from London. Of course, Mark Carney's in London again for bilaterals and multilateral talks. And just sitting down earlier with Prime Minister Keir Starmer, there was an exchange of jerseys here for the respective women's rugby teams and clubs. And I'm not listening to what they're saying. I don't know, but I'm sure that Prime Minister Carney is saying Canada's going to win or something to that effect. While I have you there, I don't know, maybe we'll see them at the event tomorrow. That would be interesting.
You may, Heather,
really?
you may. A little bird tells me it's a good possibility.
Okay, we'll be watching for that. But of course, today we're listening for what comes of these talks. Tim, put your Suma hat on for us. And what's important for you right now as the Prime Minister makes another trip to London?
Well, I think as Olivia Stefanovich was reporting earlier in the week when she talked to former Foreign Affairs Minister Peter MacKay, I think these trips are important, but we have to start coming away with things. And I think the Prime Minister probably is cognizant of that. Yes, we signed an agreement with Indonesia this week. No disrespect to Indonesia, but I don't think that's going to have the same trade benefit as perhaps expanding relationships in Europe. Prime Minister, as you know, Heather, taking some criticism for constantly going overseas. To be fair to the man, I think he has to do that, but I think deals matter. Public opinion now is saying Canadians are getting a little bit more impatient with him than they were about not having results. So what do the final agreements or any agreements look like at the end of the day? I will say this, though. I think the Carney PMO was very cognizant of something Stephen Harper did in 2010, and you know this well, sport diplomacy, just driving it back to the topic we were on. The Prime Minister is very excited, I understand, about FIFA coming to Canada this year or in 2026. I think he's also going to use, if he ends up going to the rugby game, which I believe he will, that as a sports diplomacy opportunity because he sees the benefit of showcasing Canadian excellence around the globe and believes that can drive back investment. So hopefully we'll win him a trophy, but equally we'll get some agreements that Canadians can say mean a tangible difference in their lives.
Tim, thank you. Good luck in the tournament this weekend. Thank you for all the rugby and political insight. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. Tim Powers, thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Go Canada, go.